Hello, 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 all my Ravens escapees. So I get stuff on my shirt. How are we doing today? Happy Tuesday. Oh, my hair is a mess today. You just have to excuse it. I had a little bit, I did not sleep great last night, and so I'm having a little bit of a late start. That's okay. So, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, escapees. And I am Sue, your hostess, I guess, of Ravens Escape Craft Channel. Here we talk about yarn, other crafts, and I ramble on about life in general. So it's going to be a little more of that today. Today we do have part 2 of, we're still making our, oh no, I have a mess. Oops. We're going to do part 2 of working on our, I just threw a crochet hook needle. That's okay. We're still working on our dice bag. So if you're working along with me, grab some yarn and let's work on this. So yesterday we were at row 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had done 6 rows. So today we'll start row 7. So how is everybody doing this fine Tuesday? It's finally getting warm here. We're going to chain 1 and just do another row of single crochet. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing okay now that I've finally got myself together today. It was a slow morning. It was a slow morning getting my stuff together today. I am not going to lie. I did not sleep so great overnight. I don't know why. I made the mistake, let's put it this way, of bringing up that I wanted to organize some stuff last night with the fam, with the husband and the teen. And it just, like, I'm not the kind of person who has to have an immaculate house, as you can see. But I like a tidy house, okay? You know what I mean? I am not like some minimalist that has to have everything. Let me turn you down just a little bit so you can see better. Oops. I don't know what I did there. Okay, so hopefully you can see better a little bit now. And I can still see you. But I am not like a minimalist. I do not need like this like super tidy house, whatever. But I do like things tidy, put away, cleaned off. And oh my God, like with 2 teens and a husband at this point, it is like trying. It's just everything's always a freaking mess. So last night I brought up about wanting to reorganize some things because my husband, I think I've told you, well, I know I've told, if you've been here before, my husband and kids are very much into like Warhammer 40K at this point, which super happy for it. I mean, it's a great thing for them to do. It's great for them to work on together, and they're into D&D, which D&D isn't really a problem because it's just a pile of books, and some notebooks and things. And, but my husband got my kids into Warhammer 40K, which if you don't know what that is, it is a game is incredibly involved that requires these miniatures, and there's different armies and factions and stuff, and you buy tons of these miniatures and paint them up, and they all do different things, and then you play these big tabletop games with them, and it's really cool. I mean, it's a really neat thing, and I'm really glad the kids and stuff are into it because it's a really good thing for them to get into, to learn, learning a skill, learning painting, learning modeling, patience, and then of course the rule books on these are like, so it's a lot of reading and learning lore and learning how to play the game and learning the rules, and it's very involved. So I'm glad the kids are getting into it because it's a good thing for them to, learn and do, and it's a great activity for them, and it's a great activity for the three of them to play together and paint together and model together and talk about. I'm all for it, but it involves. Uh-oh, hold on. All right, sorry. My mom called. I had to talk to her. So we're back at it. All right, so I don't even remember what I was talking about, so you have to excuse me. But I said I have this down here a little bit so I can. So we're still working on that next row of single crochet, and I don't even remember what I said before. Like I said, I was on the phone with my mother for like 2 hours, so I know my kids came home from school, so but I'm back with you. I'm going to finish this video. This is a little bit of a struggle today. I'm not even going to lie. So we are working on this next row of single crochet. We're going to let this come up more into like a bag form is what we're looking for. And what else? I have a lot of new stuff to talk about. The one thing I did want to bring up today, and if you are sensitive about pride or about LGBTQ, then this channel and video is not for you, to be honest. And I'm gonna talk about this today because I've been so disappointed in the world lately, and people over this topic. The amount of hate and just horribleness that I have seen talking about against the LGBTQ community. Apparently our president decided to say that it is no longer Pride Month, that it is Veterans Month, which I feel is, I know a lot of veterans, how do I want to say this? All right, we're finishing that row and we're going to do another row of single crochet. So I know quite a few veterans who are gay, who are, who have served our country. In fact, a friend of mine for many, 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 many years is currently still, I just haven't seen him in a long time, a Vietnam veteran who was gay in the military at the time. Of course, nobody knew that, but, and to this day, he is very, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Careful as to who knows that he's gay, and like he's, I believe, in his 70s at this point. And, he has a Purple Heart. He was in Vietnam. He was wounded. He saved people. I don't know the whole story. He never really talked about it, but I know he has a Purple Heart. I know he did save people. I know he did get injured in Vietnam. And it's people like him that I get upset when they start talking about, well, no, it's for veterans. It's not, we're not going to celebrate Pride. Look, I'm 47. I went to school. When I went to school, there was a lot of kids that were gay, that were not comfortable coming out as gay. I knew they were gay. I knew several of my friends were gay, but they would not admit they were gay at the time. because it was not safe for them to do so. Later in life, many of them did come out, and I was so glad to see that because it broke my heart that they had to pretend to be people they weren't in high school. And I knew them well enough to know that they were struggling with it in high school. And I have, over my years, been so glad to see the progress that we have made. That we've made it okay to come out as gay. We've made it okay to love who you love, to care about who you care about. I mean, my little personal story, and I'm not trying to take away from anybody's story, but when I was a senior in high school, I wanted to go to prom. I did not have a date. I was not, I had boyfriends before, and it was just at that point in time I did not have a boyfriend. And so my one girlfriend, Tina, and I decided to go to prom together. And I remember even my family being like, you're not going with Tina, right? Like, you guys can't you need dates. And I'm like, no, I don't. And we weren't romantically involved. I mean, we were very close friends. But I did not have romantic feelings toward her. However, we were really close at the time. I mean, obviously we slept in the same bed. I mean, like when I slept over at her house or she slept at my house, we slept in the same bed. We had no problems being very touchy-feely. We were incredibly close friends, but I did not have romantic feelings toward her. But we wanted to go to prom and have fun. So we decided the two of us were going to go together. And it was like, well, are you guys going as dates? And there was so many questions. And it's like, why can't I just go to the prom with my friend? Like, why is everyone making such a big deal about it? It was to them a big deal. Like, even so, I mean, and that's not even dealing with, actually wanting to take another girl to the prom as my romantic date. I can't even imagine what it was like for kids who were actually in that position. I got enough shit as a person just going to prom with my friend, And now, I just need to publicly say this because it's hurting my heart and I need to get it out. I've seen so much hatred this year toward Pride. And I've seen so many companies who previously did Pride events, did Pride things, who are stepping back because of the current political climate and they're afraid of losing customers. And shame on you. I mean, shame on you if you are afraid of losing people. I am not. My business has always been LGBTQ ally. I mean, I am a heterosexual woman who's married to a man. Have I always been the straightest person in the whole wide world? No. I did plenty of experimenting with various things in my younger days. And, there's some stories to be told. I am definitely not 100% on the straight and narrow. Let's just put it that way. And my husband's well aware of that. And he does not mind that at all. He's very pro that. So it's not a secret. It is not a secret. But that being said, my business will always be, I don't want to take away from people who are really experiencing things and ever say that I am part of the LGBTQ community, but I am definitely 1,000% an ally. Always have been, always will be. I believe in love in all shapes and sizes, as long as you're consenting adults. I don't care who you love, who you sleep with, what you like to do. I don't care if it's, you know what I mean? I don't care. I mean, whatever you're into. I don't care if you're straight and into kinky stuff, if you're into BDSM, or you love orgies. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. There's so much gross, icky, yuckiness in the whole world. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy. Or if you don't like relationships at all, if you're not into it, and that's your choice too. If you choose to love yourself, you choose to, whatever you can find in the world that gives you love, that makes your heart full, that makes you happy. That's all I want for people. I'm sorry, I'm taking a break. But I just feel like I need to say this because I've seen so much ugliness. I can't. My heart is broken for it. I've seen several creators, I've seen several people talking about how they just wish June was over because they are members of the community and this is the month they get the most hate. What breaks my heart is like friends and family members that are part of the community that I hold very dear to me, who are really concerned about the way things are going, who are, married or in relationships and saying like, are we going to have rights? Are we going to be able to have the things that we've been asking for, or that we fought so many years for, finally got, and now they're being questioned and taken away. Can we be publicly out like we used to be, and is it safe anymore? Oh, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. We need to do better as a society and stop being judgmental. I mean, if you are someone who's very religious and feels a certain way, that's fine for you, okay? And you can keep that to yourself. And you can have whatever relationship you want. But then just leave the rest of the world alone. Leave everybody else alone. You don't have to push it on people. It's disgusting, is what it is. And every time, like, my husband and I were talking about it at lunchtime today about how, like, we hear, like, oh, they're grooming kids. No, nobody's grooming children. People have been gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender forever, okay? Forever. It's recorded. Do some research. They found ancient civilizations with women buried with women and men buried with men, and it's just the way it is. And your religion telling you that it's gross is just you being groomed as a child and as an adult to think that way. That's all there is to it. Excuse my phone ringing. That's just, and it's disgusting. And I'm going to make this statement. Like I said, I have been LGBTQ ally ever since I was a kid. Anybody who knows me knows that that's the truth. I've tried to be, welcoming and let people know, like, I'm a safe place. I have no problem, not the word problem. I don't like to use the word problem. I have love in my heart for everybody. I love to see people in love. I love to see people happy. I love to see people in relationships. I just want people to be happy, and it doesn't matter to me what that looks like. It never has. I love, and I have no problem with families. I think of all my biggest argument in the whole world is these people saying, like, well, you have two moms, and there's two dads. What kind of childhood? Look, I worked in an elementary school for about 5 years, okay? We had about 300 kids in the school, so I saw a good number of kids. And most of these kids had straight parents. And I can tell you, there was a lot of them that were not good parents. There were some great parents, don't get me wrong. But the amount of kids who have broken homes, don't know their fathers, don't know either of their parents. You know, there was a kid that was very, very, very difficult to deal with. Very difficult to deal with. I had a lot of... He really pushed buttons with me because he was very, very, very off the rails. And come to find out, he never met his parents. Or he did, I'm sorry, he did meet his parents. One of his parents is in jail. One of his parents was in treatment facility or institution. I'm not quite sure which. Lived with grandma, who wasn't even mobile. Had no real upbringing. You know? And those were straight parents. Those were not, you know, so... let's not judge, because there's plenty of heterosexual relationships that aren't good. There's plenty of kids in heterosexual who are the product of heterosexual relationships that are terrible. The kids are not, like I said, how many kids don't even know their dads or moms or live with their grandparents, and these are heterosexual relationships. So let's maybe not judge, kids that actually have two parents, two loving mothers, two loving fathers. In my book, that's a whole lot better than some of the situations that these kids are in, or getting past, that some of them really felt like they didn't have a place, that they would get past, tonight they're at mom's house, tonight they're at dad's house, tonight they're at grandma's house, this time they're at the aunt's house. I mean, they would really get passed around, some of them. And it really affects them, and don't get me wrong, like, I don't want to see anybody in bad relationships, I understand, but like, I would see a lot of these kids that would, unfortunately, like, they're staying one night here, they're staying, and not just mom and dad, like, aunt, uncle, cousin, and here, there, and everywhere, and it really affected them. It affected their schoolwork. It affected how they acted, how they felt toward people. They were desperate for attention. Didn't feel like they belonged anywhere. Maybe we don't judge. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we don't judge is what I'm, everybody's so quick to say, like, oh, these poor kids. Maybe we don't judge, so I'm sorry. This has been weighing heavy on my heart, and I just needed to put this in the video today. We'll get back to this. It's just, I have just seen so many gross comments and so much grossness on this subject this year, and ew. That's all I have to say, people. Just ew. It doesn't, I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me something terrible. And I just want, like I said, I've seen a lot of friends and family, and we do have a lot of friends and family members who are in the community, and to see them be scared to say anything, or to even... They're so worried about the situation that currently, it breaks my heart, because I felt like we were getting somewhere, and now we're not. Yeah. So that's just where I'm at with that. I don't want to go on too long. Like I said, today was, we might only get 2 rows of this done. So sorry. I intended to get a lot more done on this today. I intended to get a lot more done on a lot of things today, but I did not. So we'll finish this second row of single crochet, and you'll be able to see. I'll pull it up here a little bit. So back to the crochet talk. Let's see. I've been watching. I have not ordered any new yarn. I really got to work through some of my stash right now. I have a lot of stuff I need to make, to work on. I think I said, I've told you in other videos, I've also been working on trying to revamp my shop in a little bit. So it's going to take a lot of work, and I haven't doing it as fast as I should. All right. See how it's, now we're getting somewhere. Should I do one more row? We'll do one more row and chit chat a little bit more. Let's see what else. I was watching, who was I watching? Oh, so I have to say, I'm watching Matt, the Rocket Crocheter, and then Rebecca, his wife, and they color. So they've gotten me, they keep showing their coloring stuff, and now I want to color, and I should be working on other stuff. But now I know it's backward, but it says get inspired. So this is what I was working on a little bit today. I have a ton of coloring books. I love coloring, so we're going to do one more row of single crochet, and then I'm going to let you guys go. So I've been watching Matt and Rebecca, and they do, if you haven't watched them, they do lives on, I think it's, Thursday nights. And they show off all their crochet projects, and they talk about food, and they talk about coloring, and most recently they've been talking about drawing, and they pop up on other people's lives from time to time. Sometimes they're on Fiber Spider. A couple I've seen Matt's been on Russ from It's Raining Yarn. But they keep showing their coloring, so now they got me coloring, and I should be crocheting and working on my Etsy shop and working on my inventory and working on my writing. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up. So I write romance novels, and I have been on the struggle bus with them lately. So I was thinking of maybe writing some and then holding myself accountable, and like one day a week doing some reading from a novel that I'm writing. Would that be something you guys are interested in? Anybody interested in hearing an unpublished novel? It'll hold me accountable if I have to, by a certain day every week, get another section done and edited. It would hold me accountable. So like you guys would be helping me out, really. Just a thought. Or if you want, I actually have some 2 books that I wrote that I could actually read out first. If you guys want to hear a whole novel that's finished. All right, so see how we're cupping it up? I hear my son. If you can hear my son in the background, I hear him play bass. I love that for him. I think he's messing with my upright. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about it another time. I don't want him to overhear me talking about him. All right, so part 2. We did not get very far today, but that's all right. Let's see how we're starting to cup it up into a dice bag. Oh wait, I think I screwed it up. Oh, I did. That wasn't the end. Oops. What did I do here? I don't know. I'm going to have to look at it off camera. But, all right. So, if you're crocheting along with me, we will start it up again tomorrow on Wednesday. And hopefully I will get to this earlier tomorrow. Oh, today was just... So, thank you so much, everybody, for listening to my chit-chats. Let me get some stuff off of my chest that has just been weighing heavily on me, and it will continue to weigh heavily on me, but at least I can put it out in the universe. I just want everybody to be happy in this world, and as long as you're not hurting somebody, I don't have a problem with how you do that. Do you know what I mean? As long as it's consenting, and I just want people to be happy. And I hope that I wish that everyone felt that way. And that's all I have to say about that on this subject. So thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for spending some time with me. I enjoy it more than you can imagine. It means the world to me. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Choose love every day.